So this is a video comparing the two styles of Omega deployant clasps. On the left here we have the older model, which is a polished steel. It also comes in a brushed steel too, but the version I have is a polished steel, which is pretty lustrous. But generally after that they're pretty much identical. On the right here I have the updated model. This model here is a combination of brushed and polished steel. So let's start looking at this one here. This is the older model. Like I said, it is more sleek, it's completely polished throughout, and I will give you the dimensions. So the overall length between here and here, that measures 44.42 millimeters. The overall width, which is from here to here, including the pushers, that measures 25.8 millimeters, and the total thickness from the bottom to the very top here, that measures 7.85 millimeters. And let's jump over to the updated model. So the updated model here, the overall length between here and here, that measures 45.84 millimeters. The total width here with the pushers from here to here, that measures 26.8 millimeters. And the total thickness from the bottom to the very top here, that measures 8.41 millimeters. Now let's compare them side by side. They look very similar. The dimensions are very close, but the newer model is actually a little bulkier. If you look at from straight on here, you could see that the one to the right, which is the newer model, is just a little bigger, and there's more room for the strap there. I guess the most obvious difference is the newer model has more of a shield finish, like I guess the shield shape here. The other one is more flush, more rounded. And let's look at the side. So when you look at the side here, the newer model is thicker. The pusher is also bigger too. The profile is generally bigger. I guess I should go back and show you how they operate. Both of them operate identically. So it's just these two pushers here. Push those in, and to lock it, you just press like that. So there's nothing too different there. Let's go back to the older model here. Same thing as this one. With this one, just push these here, opens. Push this here, kind of pushes together and push together, and it locks. So in case you want to see them both opened side by side, I'll open this one here. It might not be very clear in this video, but on the newer model, the pieces of steel here is actually a little thicker than on the older model. Another really obvious difference is the pins here. So if you look closely, if it zooms, let's try to get that to zoom. There we go. On the left here, which is the newer model, the pin is a little longer. That's to facilitate the newer Omega straps. Any of the Omega straps that have the reinforced hole pins, they require a little bit longer of a pin. But the older ones work fine. It's just this fit is a little more snug. And I don't think it's a problem really. It just it fits better with this. That's basically it. That's basically why I think they came up with these new clasps. Is just because the straps changed in size, so they had to facilitate that. So let's take a look at them on straps. So here they are on straps. The first one we'll take a look at is the older model here. You can see that it's more flush to the strap where it actually closes. There's not much room in there at all. It just pretty much goes from here to there. One thing I found that with these new Omega straps with the reinforced holes, the older straps don't necessarily push in too well, so you might have to give it two pushes sometimes. Sometimes just the left or the right clip locks in, and then you have to push it again to get the other lock in. Well, this is mainly because of the small amount of room here for the actual strap to fit inside. So that was kind of what I was talking about, but it's not a big deal. It's just something to remember. So when you put on the strap, make sure you push it again just to get it to lock in. Let's take a look at the newer strap here, the newer clasp. This one, they made a lot more room here. so the straps fit in better. The hole here, the pin fits better into the hole. It comes to the very top. I don't think there's a problem with the older ones. It should be fine. The strap is not gonna open on you, and this one just pushes a little better because there's more room. But because there's more room, you're gonna have more distance here, so it's not as flush as the other one. So if I could bring it to zoom in a little more there, oops. You see that distance there is quite a bit. And when I put this clasp on the weekend, and then that night I had a problem where I got this caught up in someone's clothing. So that was pretty much just a few hours after I put it on, and I think it's, yeah, like just because of that distance there, it's gonna get caught on things, whether there's a jacket or whatever. There's more room there. Let's just get the other one to compare quickly again. There's really no room there. Nothing's gonna really get in there, and if it is, it's something small. This one, you can see a lot of things can get stuck in there, but also just because of the new design and the shape here. It's more of a shield, has like an arrow. It adds more area there that protrudes out. Another one of the design differences, just be aware. But also, let's take a look at the thickness here. You can see the thickness of that piece of metal there, the brush steel, is a tad bigger than this here. So, yeah, that's not zooming pretty well there, but there we go. But just be aware that this new one is a tiny bit bulkier. It's definitely thicker, it's wider by just a bit, and I guess the length doesn't matter too much, is basically the same length. But yeah, that's basically the difference. So if you have a newer Omega strap with the reinforced holes here like that, this one actually shows it a little better. I would advise getting maybe the newer model. But also, if you don't want it to protrude so much, if you want it to be more, I guess, more sleek and compact, maybe stick with the older model. The older model works fine with the new straps and the old straps, and I'm sure the newer model does the same thing too. But yeah, it's just personal preference really. But this is a Planet Ocean. It's a bigger watch, so a bigger clasp is not a big deal. The strap is more bulky, as you see how thick it is. So I think this one fits pretty well, and this is the clasp meant for this particular strap and watch. This is a Cordura one. If you were to pick up this one from the Speedmaster, it will come with the newer model, but I think the older model actually fits it better just because these watches are, the strap is thinner, and the Speedmaster watch in general is thinner, so it might just fit it better just because of the sleek, compact look. And like I said before, you might have to kind of push it down twice in order to actually get to the lock in, so just be aware of that. Well, that is everything, guys. Here are the two clasps again, side by side, and at some different angles here. And let's go to side angle here. This is probably the best one to see how much thicker the other one is, and the button on the newer one there has a little more profile to it. Other than that, that is everything. Thank you for watching.